turpentine, dandelion wine, turn the corner and doing fine. Two Sheds Gabby. Hey guys, it's Tuesday night. It's 10:02 p.m. and I just popped open just a minute ago this box of pennies. I checked; they're not all new, so I'm gonna go through a few rolls tonight, just get it started, and hopefully I can finish up tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got to spend several hours for my Wednesday evening Bible class, but I think usually after 3 or 4 hours, I'm like, I got to take a break anyway. And then like tomorrow afternoon, I'll get back to these. But let's go through a dozen rolls tonight, maybe something like that. Who knows? Maybe we'll go even farther than that. Let's get started and see what we find. You know what we're looking for? 3 pounds of copper, 10 wheat pennies. If I can get that, I'm happy. Anything more than that, I'm extra happy. In the second roll here, I find a wheat penny right there. Can y'all tell my mat's a little bit cleaner? It was filthy. I finally decided I better clean it up a little bit. Second roll, wheat penny number 1. I hope that's a sign of many more to come. 1956 Denver. Alrighty, that's a good start. I talked about going to that country music concert a couple weeks ago. Did I ever show y'all pictures? I don't remember if I did or not. But I was pleasantly surprised. You know, I'm not a country music fan, but these people were talented. But I'm going to stick up a few pictures here just to, if I already did, my apologies. But I'll get a couple pictures up. The people that sang, they were good. I'll have to say they really were. I won't be going back there frequently, but I could do it again. They say that there's a lady that sings just like Linda Ronstadt, who's just amazing. And so if they say that she's there and they ask me to go, I might go with them. In the fourth row, I come to a 2009 that I'll keep. That one's pretty nice. I got several rolls of these things, but 2009 Philly. But I do like it. I like these coins. They're nice. So the end of this month, I've been talking to my buddy over in West Virginia. He's come and visited me a few times. And I'm going to go over there. We're going to communicate ahead of time. And I'm going to order some coins. I'll get some stuff that I want. And then I'll just go ahead and order stuff he wants. And we'll hang out for a couple of days over in eastern West Virginia. And hopefully we'll go through some coins. Maybe we'll each have a box of pennies or nickels or something, and we'll have a standoff and see who gets the better box or something and make a video. That'll be kind of fun. Whatever he wants to do, we'll have a good time. He lives in the town where they used to make all the great marbles, and he finds them. He gets out and messes around, and he finds marbles in the dirt. It's pretty cool. If only they had a marble detector. This is the fifth roll here. Roll. And wheat penny number 2. Wheat penny number 2. 1940 Philadelphia. Yay. So far, I think, it's only the 5th roll in, but I've only got my average once so far. To get your average of 9, it's really like 8.5. You need to get average per roll to get your 3 pounds of copper. You guys know how I do, how I do the number 9. Well, this goes back up. Oh, that was a 23. Oh well. That goes back a ways. Me and a buddy of mine, 82. What way that guy? he moved in next door to me when he was like 12 years old, and we became buddies. And later down the, we used to do a lot of drinking and stuff together. And down the road a ways, I became a Christian. And then a little time after that, he became a Christian. We got to studying together, and he said, yeah, I need to do that too. And he became a Christian. And then a little bit after that, he became a gospel preacher. And there was a while there that we were attending the same group. And no matter where we would be in the auditorium room there, if somebody said the next song is number 9, me and him would just turn and look at each other and just glance, not do anything. We just glance at each other, kind of like a recognition. Yep, that's what we do. And then we would turn back and sing the song and go about our business. It's just been going on for a long time. And honestly, I mean, the Beatles song Revolution number 9, it's terrible. But it is funny to hear him go, number 9, number 9. That's the only redeeming part about it, in my opinion. The rest of it is just a drug-induced experiment. 82. So, number 9. Yep, he'd be on one side of the building, I'd be on the other, and we would turn and just look at each other and then turn back and sing our song. Fun days. Now I'm in the 7th row, and here's Wheat Penny number 3. Boy, if it'll keep this up, I'll get my 10 pretty easy. 1954, Denver. Okay, I like that. The last roll, I did get a little over my 9 needed, so maybe I'll get enough of those rolls to offset the rolls that I don't get, and I'll still get my 3 pounds of copper. 1971, San Francisco. We'll put him over there. Over there. They say that a lie makes it around the world before the truth has time to put his pants on. Well, folks, I've gone through about 15 rolls now, and it's 11:15. Haven't found anything else yet. I did find 2 2009s that I did not keep. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and crash here, and I will pick up tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Hey, folks, it is after 5 p.m. on Wednesday. I had things come up today in my business for selling for the company. Totally unexpected. It really kind of messed me up. But this is the 2nd row that I've done here in just the last couple minutes. And I see that I didn't realize that Abraham Lincoln had bubble gum. He's blowing a nice bubble there. Pretty funny. So I can only do a few rolls because then we've got to take off to go to our Bible study tonight. And I will try to finish when we get back. Got to take a small vacation next week, so it's just 82. Just a lot going on, trying to get stuff done. Monday is holiday, so I can't do any banking then. So tomorrow I'm going to, after I get my $50, I'm going to try to go through all of them, and then probably go out Friday and do some banking and take my $50 to some other banks to get them put back in my account. Make sure I have all my money in the right branch, the right banks for our trip. And I'm hoping to pick up a few boxes of coins on the trip. Pennies and nickels, and if I'm lucky, pick up some $50. But we'll just have to see how that goes. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get some. I doubt if I'll get a box. I really, really, really meant to call and order them, and I didn't get called in time. Kind of frustrated with myself. I tried to call one day, but it's so hard to get through to these banks. They go to recording instantly. 82. I believe I'm in the 18th row, and this looks like I have wheat penny number 4. 1951 Denver. Cool. Yeah, I had a company from Canada contact me and wanted to buy a circuit board from me. And they didn't want to pay the crazy, eBay has crazy international fees these days. They wanted to know if I could bypass that and ship it with their DHL number, which that means that I have to send them all of my contact information. They have to, first they have to buy the item, then they have to make, print off all the international paperwork and then send it to me, and I've got to print it off. They've got to create it, send it to me, and then I print it off. And then I have to take it to DHL and, get it all taken care of there. And it just took a long time. The 24th row in the first half of the box, and here is a 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny, and that would be number 5. We're halfway there. I think I'm going to quit after the next row because I'm running out of time, and I do hope to finish when I get back from my Bible study. I see people walking down my street. I'm always seeing people walking down the street now. When I was a kid, you never saw people walking down the street. It was a lonely old country street. What a difference 50 years make, right? It's only been 50 years. Copper. I have not seen a Canadian coin. Boy, there have been times I've gotten a dozen in a box or awful close to it. Not so much today. Yeah, when I grew up here in this neighborhood I grew up next door. Across the street from us there was a fence and then a big multi-acre field behind the fence. And sometimes, 82, they would put the field in straw or hay, and then other years it would just lay dormant. And that's, when I went out to the street and turned right and went down the street, there was woods and cornfields and stuff. And we lived on a 13-acre farm. My grandfather bought a farm like back in the 30s or 40s, and he built several houses all for his kids to live there. And he had a couple of pastures where he would raise a few cattle. And then we had a couple of garden places. We probably had an equivalent of about a half-acre garden between the two areas. This is what I like to see. The last row in the first half, and here is Wheatie number 6. Yeah. 1944 Philadelphia. Very good. Yeah, behind us was, I guess you'd say, the farm. And then, several houses built on it for family. And then behind the farm was my grandfather's property was fenced, and behind that fence was just another big field that eventually became the first subdivision of anything close to us, because we just had woods and cornfields and hayfields all around us when I was a kid. And I could take a bus to school, but I preferred walking most of the time. And if I would go behind my house back through my grandfather's property, and then climb the fence and then go through that field, it was closer than if I walked the street, out where I would pick up the bus. And that's what I liked to do. And then when I got into high school, I would cut most of the time. I'm sure I missed more days than I went. I'll tell you when I get back tonight about coming home from school one day and what I saw in one of the cow pastures. We'll talk about that in a while later on tonight. Well, we're at 6. That's cool. That means I only need 4 in the second half to get my 10. Think I'll ever get another extra V. I'm gonna weigh this 83 in a minute. All right, folks, I am going to get off here until later tonight. Hello, folks. I am back from my Bible study tonight, and this is the third row I've gone through, and here is wheat penny number 7. Oh, 1938. Getting a little older there. Cool. You know, haven't gotten a really old one in quite a while. Well, I take that back. When I went through some customer roll a month or so ago, I got a couple of pretty old ones. That was fun. I was talking about the farm and well, yeah, this little farm I grew up on, 13 acres. And I was coming home from school one day. I was probably 11 or 12, something like that. And I'm walking along, and I'm looking over at the cows. My grandfather would only keep a handful around. I don't know if I ever saw more than 6 or 7, and a lot of times it was just 2 or 3. But I'm walking along, and I'm looking at this cow, and it's acting a little funny. And then I look on the back side of the cow, and I see something sticking out. It's like, oh, that's a hoof sticking out. That cow is calving. So I stopped to watch, and I think it was really struggling. Things were not going well. It was mooing and screaming and hollering and carrying on. And finally, after a little while, she just fell over and on her side, and she was wailing. And eventually, another cow literally came over and turned it backside to this cow, and it would plop down, just jump down on this cow's belly, trying to help push it out. Now, if I had used my noggin just a little bit, I'd have ran and found my grandfather and said, hey, there's a problem. But I didn't. I just sit there and watched. It took a long time, but eventually the calf was born, and I even watched it for a while, and it messed around for a little while, and eventually it got up and took its first step. I sit there for a long time, I'm telling you. But yeah, I really should have went and got my grandfather. I'm now in the 6th roll in the second half of this box, and here, folks, is wheat penny number 8. How about that? 1951 Denver. Wheat cent. Okay, number 8, Neato. Well, I'm going to spring some sadness on you here. Sorry about that. Well, tonight, on Wednesday nights, we have our Bible class, and then a guy will get up and just kind of give a 1 or 2 minute, just a little talk, trying to encourage people to make sure they're doing right or whatever, something like that. And then we'll have a song, and then we'll have a prayer, and that's it. It's a pretty simple night. But tonight, the guy got up and led the song, one I hadn't heard in a long time, and it's called Almost Persuaded. Man, it's heart-wrenching. 82. The last verse, we're talking about your soul. We're talking about whether you go to heaven for eternity or hell for eternity. Let that sink in. Forever. And in our book, it's the last verse. I know different books have different verses, but the last verse, man, it's just heart wrenching. It says, "Almost persuaded, harvest is past. Almost persuaded, doom comes at last. Almost cannot avail. Almost is but to fail. Sad, sad that bitter wail. Almost but lost." Can you imagine almost making it to heaven, but then not making it? It terrifies me. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about. All I can say is, if you're almost persuaded, be altogether and completely persuaded. I would highly, highly, highly encourage you. Number 9. 10th row, folks. Wheat penny, number 9. 1941, Philadelphia. All right, cool beans. There are none so blind than those that will not see. The appellation word of the day, 82, is aorta. A-O-R-T-A, aorta. There's a lot of trash on the road. I ought to pick it up or something. Copper. There just ain't that many years of copper that we hoard. The wheat pennies are different. We save them. So we're just talking 1959 to 1982. That's not a whole lot of years. Those Canadian coins, they go all the way up to 1996 that they get to hoard theirs. We get to hoard theirs too. We just don't find them that often. And I haven't found any in this box. I haven't even changed clothes yet. I'm going to go put my comfy clothes on. Here it is. Number 10, 1946, Philadelphia, wheat penny, number 10. We did it. We got double digits. No static at all. I was hoping we'd get it. We still got pretty good ways to go. About 11 more rolls to go. I don't know about the 3 pounds, but we got our 10 Wheaties. What is that? It ain't very pretty, but it's a Canadian penny. 1968. Oh my. There we go. Like that. I think that's right. Well, you can't hardly even tell what's going on there. But it is a 98% copper penny. Finally did get one. Just 5 rolls to go left in this box. And we'll be done. About 3 rolls back, 82, I opened a roll and sand came out with the pennies. I had gritty sand all over my mat. I had to wipe it clean. I hope next week I'm going to Ohio. And I'm going to stop at several banks and hopefully get pennies and nickels and stuff. But anyway, I'm hoping that these Canadians will have more I mean, these Ohio boxes will have more Canadian in them. I've gotten Ohio boxes before, and they did pretty good. Not as good as the boxes I got in Detroit. They had like 40 or 50 Canadian in each of those. But the ones in Ohio did pretty good. So hopefully I'll do that again. Copper. Canadian copper penny number 2. 1993. That is a 12-sided one. 2.5 grams. 98% copper. Canada. That's how you spell Canada. 82. Will I get another wheat penny out of all these? You know, that was quite a few rolls back there. I think I still had like 10 or 11. That'll be my 11th wheat penny if I get number 11. Do we say 11 or 11? Got 11. How many did you get? I got 11. 82. I guess you've seen I'm not going after the 24s. I quit selling them, so I just quit keeping them. Oh well. They did make a bunch of them. I'm from Kentucky, so I can talk it any way I want to. He's got a belly full of jelly and a gnarled head. Number 11, right here, right here. 1952, Denver. Cool beans. We got 11 wheat pennies. Now will we get our 3 pounds of copper? I'm terrible about saying my predictions and all, but because a lot of times I'll say, I don't think I got it, and then I did get it. So I'm going to say it again. I don't think I got it. I just feel like there were so many rolls that didn't have the 9, 8.5 or 9 that I needed. There were rolls that went over, I know, but once again, I feel like I didn't get it. But once again, I hope I'm wrong. So next week, we're going to Ohio, and then the end of next month, I'm going to West Virginia. Looking forward to that. Hey, this is my last row. I'm about halfway done with it. I thought I would just turn the old camera on and we'd rummage through this last bit of it together. You know, today's Wednesday, our fasting day. We haven't eaten since, I don't know, dinner last night. And so we're looking forward to breaking our fast tomorrow at this Mexican restaurant. We're going to get that big fajita. Copper. Right here at the end, of course, I'll have to weigh my 82s, and then I'll pop back in for just a second, and we'll have our weigh-in. The old weigh-in. Okay, here we go. Here's the moment, folks. Let's weigh it and see what we got. Yeah, we're off by several ounces. 2 pounds and right at 10 ounces. Actually take an ounce off of that for the box. So we didn't hit that very close tonight. But that's all right. We did get 11 wheat pennies. So not bad. I'll add this copper to my box up here. Ding, that guy right there. In fact, I think it might fill that one up. It probably will fill that one up, and I'll move the rest of them into the next one. That's going to be it. And man, when will I see you again? I'll try to make a video over the weekend. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I'm sure I will. Oh, I've got tomorrow. Half dollars. We'll see you tomorrow.